Hello everyone, this is one in a series of videos I'll be doing on new features in the Infinity Fleet system. This video is on Setup Assistant with a side rail torque box. So the first thing we're going to need to do is open the Infinity Fleet program, and we can do that by clicking the Infinity Fleet icon on our desktop. Now you'll see the program opens up and this box pops up. We do recommend that you run your scanner for at least 15 minutes prior to measuring to ensure the greatest accuracy. While you're waiting for the scanner to warm up, feel free to walk around the vehicle, add targets, create a shop order, get your adapters on the frame. You don't have to stop working on the vehicle just because you have to wait the 15 minutes for the scanner to warm up. You can go ahead and hit OK on that box after you've waited 15 minutes. Then, as with everything else in the fleet system, you will need to create a shop order before you do any measuring. So go ahead and hit the Edit Shop Order tab. And normally you'd create a new one, but I've already made one, so we'll go ahead and select that. Then we'll go over here and click on our Target Placement tab. And that'll load our frame. Now we see our frame here. Today we're using a side rail torque box, so it'll probably be set up in the middle of the frame at about these 2 points. Now as you can see, I'm attaching a side rail torque box to the frame, twisting those 3 magnets, and then adding a stem. Make sure you always use the same stems on your side rail torque box for each point. Hanging a target. And once you've completely set up your side rail torque box, it should look like this with 4 targets pointing at the scanner, and it should form a rectangle. So now hit Setup Assistant. And you see the targets are now walking out at the distances that we set them up on the frame. And what they're doing right now is walking down onto the frame, and the scanner is gaining its orientation. So you can see as the targets walk down onto the frame, the scanner is also rotating. Once they've locked into position, a box will pop up. There we go. And since we're using a side rail torque box on the bottom of the frame on the left side, we'll select that option. And then we'll need to know which target pair is closest to the front of the frame. For me, that's 5 and 8. So we'll go ahead and check that box. And then we'll need to enter the length from the front of our frame to the first torque box points. For me, that's 2400 millimeters. We can skip those other 2 measurements and hit continue. Now we'll set up a target on the other side of the frame parallel to the torque box. This will help us gain width information and help the scanner determine where the torque box is. So once we've done that, you can see that target walking to the middle of the torque box. And now it's stopped and it's in place. We can go ahead and hit continue. And now the torque box will snap to the frame. And you can see that target we placed earlier. And now the scanner knows where it is, where that target is, and where everything else is. Now we can go ahead and hang a target on the front and the back of the frame. We're going to set it up dual bottom just like the other target, and make sure that that stem connection is pointed at the floor. And you can see that in this example pic here. Now you can see the target I've set up in the front is walking out to the front of the frame. It's going to stop in the front and at the center. And now the one I set up on the back of the frame is also walking to the center of the back of the frame. And if I move this box here, you can see that. And we'll wait till it gets settled in. And there we go, and we can hit continue. We've got our frame length measurement now. We can hit OK on that. Now that we've done that, we can move any of these points we use to measure the frame and also add additional points to the frame, which I'm going to show you now. So we'll go ahead and set up another target on the frame, and you can see that walk out. All right, and there's that target there. And I placed it right by that axle. So we'll watch that settle into place. Okay, and there we go. You can hit continue now. And it'll grab all those measurements and ask you to wait. And then it'll open up the target placement tab. Now you can see all the targets that we placed are still on the frame, and you can click on any of those points and see the adapter that you used. So left bottom torque box on the bottom rail. You can also see height, width, and length measurements here. And you can now go back to the measurement tab if you'd like and add more targets. That just about completes this video on Setup Assistant. I hope you learned something and I hope you enjoyed it.